Low risk alternatives. If you're taking screenshots, this is probably the screenshot that you want to take. General management for construction, real estate, and auto rentals. Property management for fix and flips, Airbnbs, and construction. Consulting services for agency owners and financial services. And I would have also included marketing in there, by the way. Because marketing sometimes is hit or miss. General business services, NEC means not elsewhere classified. Just about any service. So if you're kind of like up in the air, well, you know, Irv mentioned, because this is the other thing that I wanted to kind of clear the air on, is, well, Irv mentioned, or I've seen on a bunch of different calls, or not this one, but maybe pieces of content, whether it's on YouTube, just put consulting. We hear that all the time, right? I'm not a big fan of that advice. I'm not a big fan of the advice of just put consulting, because it doesn't sit well with me. I can't look someone in the face and tell them, dude, you're driving a truck for 12 hours. I know this because my dad was a truck driver. My dad wasn't talking to anybody. My dad wasn't consulting anybody. My dad was putting food on the table for us growing up. My dad did trucking from the minute that I was 6 years old to the day that he retired, right? And he still kind of drives trucks just for the heck of it, because I can't get that man to sit down. So I know the trucking space pretty well. And the reason why I say that is because I can't look a trucker in the face, because I feel like I'm looking my dad in the face and telling him, hey, just put just put consulting so that you can get approved for a business line of credit, where they take a deeper look, and God forbid they'd want to see the actual way of the business model, the way that it works. Hey, how many clients do you have? Hey, what's your KPIs? Like whatever it is, they can't answer those questions. Why would I want to set someone up to fail? And I say all that to say, and I'm very passionate about it, because I like sidestepping places legally, but I don't like sidestepping places fraudulently, because I see that a lot in this space. And so if in doubt, general business services, NEC, not elsewhere classified. That's typically going to be a nice spot for you if maybe you don't fit into one of these. General management is good, but consulting, I think that we're beating a dead horse with that, if I'm just being honest with you guys. For my content creators, you're good. For my agency owners, like you're good. You're actually consulting. You're actually in front of clients. But for those of us that are out there in the field, and you know who I'm talking about, it's just you by yourself. You're gonna want to sit with either general management or general business services, NEC. Electronic shopping, for those of us that are e-com, electronic shopping and mail orders to houses. That's for online stores, online retail, and then logistics would be the other route that you can take. The reason why I don't give you logistics as the top one to put for your business as the NAICS code is because you'll find out when we go into it's either week 2 or week 3 when we're breaking down the way that you want to classify it over with Dun & Bradstreet. Over at Dun & Bradstreet, they don't actually have a classification for logistics. So if you get off this call and now you're okay, Irv said do logistics and I should be good, and now you're setting it up, you're excited, and you hit Dun & Bradstreet and you're trying to set up your profile, you don't see it, you're like, what's going on? That's why. But what you will see is general business services, not elsewhere classified. It took me a while to figure that out with just a lot of data that we've been running. But these are essentially some of the best low risk alternatives that we're seeing in 2023. If this changes for whatever reason, I'll update Rad or he'll bring me on another call. I'm losing my pen over here because I'm getting so passionate with this. All the baloney that's in the space. Low risk NAICS codes. So we have 541611, which is general management and consulting. And then we have 454100, which is for e-com. Those are typically the ones for most of us that are on this call that you're going to be able to write off of right there. That's going to be a good look for you. And then most likely in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to show you exactly how to find that inside of the banks as you're filling out applications, because that's like a part that people like to leave out is, okay, wait a minute, but how do I actually find that inside the applications? Because especially if you're doing a funding sequence, you'll realize that a business application for Chase looks totally different from Bank of America, and Bank of America looks totally different from like a US bank. So we're going to be breaking that down. Now, there's 2 routes for funding and business credit. Before I get there, let me know, Rad, how are we doing, bro?
Amazing, brother. We're doing great.
I didn't mean to get passionate earlier, bro, but I just see a lot of baloney in the space, dude.
Yeah, man.
Where
absolutely.
It's just like, just put consulting, dude, you can't tell somebody just put consulting if they don't run a damn consulting business.
I know, man. I know.
That's not good practice. And so that's why, again, this whole point of this call and these calls over the next couple of weeks is best practices. And so with that in mind, what was that?
I can't wait till you break down the whole $250,000 in business funding garbage that we hear all the time too.
Yeah, that's a fun one. No, that's a fun
Guys,
one.
we're taking shots, man. We're not being apologetic on these calls. These 4 calls are completely shots fired, Nas ether type of stuff. We are not holding back. If this offends anybody, we apologize. You're a big guy, you're a big girl. You can put your big guy or big girl pants on and deal with the heat, because the kitchen is hot tonight and for the next 3 weeks.
Listen, I'm here. I'm home, so I'm comfortable with this community where I can call some stuff out like I see it. If I didn't, I would just fly through these slides and not care to drop additional context. So with that in mind, 2 routes for funding and business credit. Notice that I said funding and business credit because we typically use those interchangeably, but there's actually 2 separate things. So just something to keep in mind as we go through the call today. Non-PG, meaning EIN only, which is route 1. I'm smiling because Rad already knows where I'm going with this. Route 2 is PG, which is the faster route. So drop a 1 in the chat if you guys typically are hearing or want. Or let me backtrack. Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys want to go EIN only. Drop a 2 in the chat if you guys don't care. You guys, just show me the money. There's no right or wrong answer.
Oh man.
What is it in the chat right now? What's the
mostly
score?
2s? We trained them right, but we got some 1s in there. We got some 1s in there. Credit Suite, man. They've been listening to Credit Suite too much, but it's okay.
They've been listening. But look, there's no right or wrong, right? And one of the reasons for that is because I had like this epiphany and I had this moment just understanding everyone has different business goals, right? And I was having a conversation with one of my top clients inside of our program, and he mentioned, Irv, I have stellar credit, and I think he has over like 125K in business credit, like actual real cash value, PG. And he says, I appreciate the PG stuff, but for me, where I'm at in my business, I prefer trade lines because I'm able to get, just for the type of service that I run, he does government contracting. So I'm able to get like 1,000 rolls of toilet paper for pretty much for the contracts that they get, knowing that I'm going to get paid out in 60 days. So that net 75 that we get, it actually makes sense for me. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense, right? So that's why I kind of set up, and I'm smiling because the majority of us, we hear, and I hear it all the time because I see it on my posts. I see it when I get the messages. How can I get access to 200K non-PG, which we're going to be breaking that down. But more importantly, how can you actually get funding faster, which we're also going to be breaking down. Which one is right for you?
You know what's funny, man, is a Credit Plug is going to be here next month, right? But Credit Plug said, I dare somebody to show me how this note, like he literally called out the game about the no PG. It says, if somebody can get X, Y, and Z, I'll give you $1,000 right now. Like Plug is not even joking around with it.
It's bogus. It's bogus.
It's bogus. It's a moneymaker.
It's a moneymaker, bro. And it's sensationalized. So it makes for good CTA. But anyways, this isn't a content call. This is a credit call right here.